All right, buckle up, everyone, because we are diving headfirst into a match that has it all. We're talking the Madrid Derby, Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid,
Yeah, this is it.
Champions League,
Yeah.
last 16,
Uh-huh.
first leg at the Bernabeu. The atmosphere, well, let's just say it's going to be electric, and you, my friend, you want to be ready for this.
Absolutely.
Whether you're a diehard fan or maybe you've got some friendly wagers riding on this, we at Tipsmodo, we've got you covered with everything you need.
Because we know you want to make some smart decisions. This isn't just another Champions League match. This is a clash of styles, a battle for bragging rights in the Spanish capital. And of course, it's a chance for both teams to take a big step towards European glory.
No doubt about it. Real Madrid, they are the reigning champs. They have
Yeah.
a record 14 Champions League titles.
14. It's incredible.
It's unreal. They're royalty in this competition.
Yeah.
And they're also on a 9-match unbeaten streak in the knockout stages.
It's impressive, but they did just lose to Real Betis in La Liga.
Yeah, that's right. Snapped a 7-game unbeaten run. So the question is this a sign of weakness? Are they cracking under pressure? Or is this just a blip? You know, one of those things that happens.
And that's what we are digging into at Tipsmodo. We're trying to figure that out. Real Madrid's home form, I mean, you gotta look at that. It has been formidable. 8 wins out of their last 9 at the Bernabeu. But the one team that managed to avoid defeat there recently,
Don't tell me.
Atletico Madrid. They know how to handle the Bernabeu. They know how to handle the pressure cooker. It's a factor. We can't ignore that.
And speaking of Atletico, they're leading La Liga right now. They're playing with confidence. They're playing with tactical discipline. I mean, they absolutely dominated their Champions League group. 5 straight wins.
5 straight wins.
Unbelievable.
But, there's always a but, right? Their away form in the knockout rounds last season was a completely different story. 3 straight defeats.
Oh, wow.
So that raises questions, can they overcome that this time? Especially against their arch rivals. We're looking at this at Tipsmodo. We're looking at all the recent performance data, all the player matchups, the tactical nuances, everything, trying to figure it out.
We're piecing it together. It's like a puzzle, isn't it? Now, we can't forget the history here.
Yeah.
Real Madrid has been Atletico's kryptonite in the Champions League. 5 times they've knocked them out in the past decade,
It's painful.
including those heartbreaking finals in 2014 and 2016.
2014 and 2016.
Ouch.
Exactly. It still stings for Atletico fans, but this season does feel different. This season, they're hungry. They want revenge. They're playing with a swagger. It's hard to ignore that.
Yeah.
That said, we got to look at the head-to-head stats recently. They paint a bit of a different picture. Atletico has only 1 win in their last 7 encounters with Real Madrid across all competitions.
Yeah. Draws, they seem to be a common theme in this fixture, but with so much on the line in this match, are we going to see a decisive result this time? Well, we're working on that at Tipsmodo. We're crunching the data. Let's talk team news. Both sides dealing with some big absences here.
Yeah, big absences.
Key players.
Let's start with Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham, he is suspended for this match. Huge blow to their midfield. He has been so important for them.
He has been.
On top of that, they have Eder Militao, Dani Carvajal, Dani Ceballos, Jesus Vallejo, all out with injuries.
Wow. So their depth is going to be tested.
Severely tested.
And for Atletico, they're missing veteran defender Cesar Azpilicueta and their midfield maestro Koke, both out with injuries. That's a tough one to swallow, losing Koke.
Especially Koke, yeah.
He is the heart and soul of that midfield. It's going to force them to adjust their tactics, no doubt.
It will.
This is something we are factoring into our analysis over at Tipsmodo. And, you know, these potential lineup changes, what do they mean tactically? For example, Real Madrid, missing their first choice right back. We could see Federico Valverde slotting into that position.
You could, yeah.
Now, Valverde, dynamic player, but that shift might leave them a little exposed defensively. So how is Atletico going to look to exploit that weakness?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Another thing we're dissecting at Tipsmodo, how Real Madrid is going to cope without Bellingham's creative spark in midfield.
That's right.
They have options, but you can't just replace a player like that.
You can't, no. And on the attacking front, Real Madrid, they still have that trio, Rodrygo, Vinícius Jr, and Mbappe.
Okay.
I mean, even without Bellingham, they can cause nightmares for any defense.
Frightening.
But we're talking about Atletico's backline here. They're known for resilience. They're known for organization. It's going to be a fascinating battle to watch.
It is. And for Atletico, keep an eye on Julian Alvarez. This guy has been on fire lately, especially in the Champions League. 6 goals already.
He's on fire.
He's going to be looking to add to that tally against Real Madrid. We wouldn't bet against him at Tips Moto.
We wouldn't.
But we'll get into the key players to watch a little bit later. First, we want to shift our focus to probably the most intriguing aspect of this match, the tactical battle.
Absolutely.
We at Tips Moto, we love getting into the nitty-gritty of how these teams are going to approach this game.
We do.
What are they thinking? What's the plan?
The chess match.
Because both managers are known for their tactical acumen. This is going to be a chess match of the highest order. We're expecting some fireworks on the pitch, but also some very calculated moves from both benches.
For sure.
And this is where the real depth of our analysis at Tips Moto comes into play. We're not just looking at who might score or who might get a yellow card.
Yep.
We are dissecting those tactical nuances that could decide the game.
It's all about the details. All right, so let's dive into this tactical chess match we're expecting.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how Atletico approaches this game, especially on the road.
You know, Atletico Madrid under Simeone, they're known for their defensive solidity and their ability to just absorb pressure.
Right. They were like a well-oiled machine when it comes to defending.
Exactly. They'll probably sit deep, they'll stay compact, and try to frustrate Real Madrid, try to shut down their attack.
They're not just going to park the bus, though, right?
Oh, definitely not. They're going to look to hit Real Madrid on the counterattack.
Right.
Utilize the pace of players like Raul Felix, Yannick Carrasco.
And that's where it gets really interesting, because Real Madrid's defense, it has shown some weaknesses this season.
It has.
Especially on the flanks.
And that is a key insight that we have identified at Tips Moto.
Okay.
Atletico will aim to exploit those weaknesses, use those quick transitions to catch Real Madrid off guard.
So it's all about tactical discipline for Atletico.
Yes.
They need to stay organized, avoid giving away any silly fouls, and be clinical when those counterattacking opportunities come up.
Precisely. And on the other side, Real Madrid, they need to be patient.
Yeah.
They need to be patient in their build-up play. Avoid forcing passes and make sure they don't overcommit in attack, leaving themselves vulnerable at the back.
Right. It's classic, isn't it? Attack versus defense, flair versus discipline.
Absolutely. And, you know, at Tips Moto, we can't wait to see how this unfolds.
Me too.
Because these are two of the most tactically astute teams in Europe.
Without a doubt. Now, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about the individual matchups that could really swing the balance of this game.
For sure.
Because often it comes down to those one-on-one battles, right?
Absolutely. We've already talked about Julian Alvarez.
Yeah, for Atletico,
Strat.
He's been in red-hot form.
Yeah.
And Real Madrid, they'll be well aware of his pace and his goal-scoring ability.
Yeah, we've identified him as a potential game changer at Tips Moto.
For sure. So we've got the tactical battles, we've got the key player matchups, and of course the way to history, all swirling around this Madrid derby.
It's a recipe for a captivating encounter, for sure.
It is. And for you listening, this is a match you do not want to miss.
And that's where we come in at Tips Moto.
Exactly.
We are diving deep into all the data, crunching the numbers, analyzing every single aspect of this game to give you the edge.
Every angle.
We're looking at everything, historical trends, team form, individual player stats, tactical nuances.
Leaving no stone unturned?
Absolutely. We are leaving no stone unturned in our quest to provide you with the most insightful betting tips.
We've talked tactics, we've talked key players. But there's another layer to this, right? The psychological edge. I mean, this is a rivalry. What's your take on the mental game here?
Oh, the mental side of this is huge. Absolutely huge. I mean, think about it. Atletico, they've got this burning desire, right?
Yeah.
To break their Champions League curse against Real Madrid. They're going to be fired up, no question.
Yeah. And Real Madrid, they'll want to assert their dominance, especially at home. I mean, they won't want to let those past victories slip away, especially after that recent La Liga stumble.
Exactly. And we're factoring all that in at Tips Moto. We're going beyond the stats and the formations. We're looking at those psychological currents, the things you can't always see on paper that could influence this match.
It's what sets Tips Moto apart, isn't it? We're not just giving numbers. We're giving you the whole picture. We're giving you a deep understanding of all the forces at play here so you can make informed decisions.
Absolutely. And we can't forget, this is just the first leg.
Oh, that's right.
The second leg is at Atletico's home ground, the Wanda Metropolitano. And that's a whole other beast.
Different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
The atmosphere there is intense.
Intense.
Atletico will be looking to capitalize on that home advantage for sure.
Oh, yeah. And we're already looking ahead to that second leg at Tips Moto. We're analyzing how the result of this first leg might impact the second. And remember, the away goals rule is gone. So every goal counts, every tactical decision matters even more.
It's going to be a two-part thriller, no doubt about it. And we at Tips Moto, we're here to guide you through it all.
Every twist and turn, we'll break it down, highlight the key factors, give you the insights you need to make smart choices.
So if you want to be ahead of the game, if you want to impress your friends with your football knowledge, if you want to make some savvy decisions, well, there's only one place to go.
www.tipsmoto.co.ke. We've got all the expert betting tips, in-depth analysis, everything you need to make this Madrid derby even more exciting.
Don't miss out. We'll see you there.